What is going on, everybody? Weedle here, and we're back again with some more casual VGC 2019 battling content. Now, I say casual battling content because, well, I'm really bad at VGC and very low ladder right now in Battle Spot, and well, I was low ladder when I did these battles, of course. And two, there's some people out there who believe that, like, I perceive my teams to be top tier and to be viable in, like, a VGC best of 3 regional environment. But that's just not the case, guys. When I force myself to play VGC for viewers, I just try to play for fun and add some variety into the content. I don't really think my teams are that viable. I just try to have some fun when I play this game. I'm sorry if that offends you. Anyways, today we're using a team revolving around Kieran Black and Reshiram because they have a unique interaction between Fusion Flare and Fusion Bolt where they double and base power when used after each other, which is pretty cool. And no one really knows what these Pokemon do because everyone's too focused on more broken legendaries like Groudon. Speaking of Groudon, my opponent does have a Groudon on his team, but he doesn't have Incineroar. Guys, let's just give him a round of applause. This is the only battle in this video that doesn't have Incineroar, but hey, enjoy it while it lasts. Like, it doesn't matter where you run off to, you try to like quit Pokemon, play Smash, Incineroar will be there. He'll be there waiting for you. There's no escaping the furry wrestler, guys. He's everywhere. Everywhere you look, he'll be there, okay? And I haven't narrated a battle in like over a month, so I apologize if I'm a little bit rusty with my narration. So turn 1, my Terrible activates before Drought, which is very important information to know because that means my Kieran Black outspeeds Groudon. So I'm going to click the Free Shock. Okay, Kieran Black's signature move. I have an item that Xerneas commonly, or not even commonly carry, always carry, the Power Herb, or Power Herb. I can pronounce it both ways because it triggers some people based on how you pronounce the word herb or herb. I don't know why, but yeah, we're going to one-shot Groudon with Free Shock, which is very nice. And now I'm going to roar out the Alolan Exeggutor, expecting Trick Room. And since I went before the Alolan Exeggutor, that tells me he definitely went for Trick Room that turn. So we're able to prevent Trick Room and knock out one restricted legendary. So I'm thinking like this battle's over, man. Kieran Black just like destroyed my opponent. And now, don't tell Xerneas players about this strategy. We're going to pick up the Power Herb, which means we can utilize it again by going for the Bestow into my Kieran Black. So don't tell Xerneas users about this because they'll go for double Geomancy, use it, abuse it, and then make you lose it. Bars. Yeah, I'm a freaking rapper now, but I'm gonna go for the Free Shock, and instead of targeting the Alolan Exeggutor, I thought he would protect, so I go for Free Shock into Dialga, trying to knock him out. But Dialga's pretty tanky, it's able to live. We do get a lucky Paralyze, which I didn't even know Free Shock can Paralyze, but hey, you learn something new every day. And then my opponent goes for Skill Swap with the Alolan Exeggutor, so I'm like, whoa, my opponent actually has some cool tech on this team. I like it. So he actually gives the Dialga Harvest, and now he goes for Trick Room, so I'm like, oh, I should have just roared the Dialga. I'm an idiot, but yeah, I didn't really account for Dialga and Alolan Exeggutor both carrying Trick Room, so that was my bad. But yeah, we pick up the Power Herb now, so I'm going to go for Protect here to scout what the Dialga wants to do. But go figure, the turn I click Protect, he freaking clicks, he gets paralyzed. He clicks the Paralyze. Yeah, but now he Grass Knots himself here. This is the 200 IQ play. He knocks him into Bataya Berry range. I thought he was Poppy Berry range, or Poppy Berry in general, but he's actually Bataya Berry Dialga. That's really sweet. But now I'm going to Bestow and give my Kieran Black the item even through Protect, because Bestow goes through Protect, in case you guys didn't know. That's a nice thing to know if you ever want to use the move Bestow. And now he's going to Harvest, get the Bataya Berry, and now I'm going to pick up the Bataya Berry, because pickup works based on whatever item was like last consumed during the turn. So I actually pick up the Bataya Berry, which is not what I want, but it doesn't matter anyway because my Kieran Black gets annihilated by a +3 Flash Cannon, or +2 Flash Cannon, don't remember. So yeah, down goes Kieran Black, and now I try to roar out the Dialga here, but then my opponent just puts me to sleep with the sleep powder. So yeah, my Linoone is fast asleep now, which kind of stinks. I probably should have roared out the Dialga last turn while I protected. That was definitely the better play, but I wanted to just Bestow and give my Kieran Black the freaking Power Herb. Okay, I apologize for that. My bad. But now I'm going to bring out my Reshiram, and I'm thinking like Reshiram should be able to sink any hit from Dialga because, you know, Reshiram has a good SPDF stat. And yeah, but then my opponent reveals Earth Power, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't even have Dragon Step. He just has Earth Power. So yeah, down goes my Reshiram as well. Down goes Reshiram. That's probably just for Incineroar as well, because Incineroar is on every team, but, you know, he has Earth Power and Flash Cannon, which hits, you know, both my restricted legendaries, and now both of my legendaries are dead, and now I'm not looking like I'm in the best spot right now, because Dialga still has one turn of Trick Room left, and I need to, like, save my Lucario if I want to have any shot of winning this game. So he's going to switch out, bringing us Ribombee here, which kind of surprised me, as I'm going to Protect here, because I want to install the last turn of Trick Room so I can knock out Dialga, and here I'm actually going to block the Earth Power with Protect, and then wake up and misclick on Bestow. So here I give Dialga an early Christmas present, give him the Bataya Berry, so he doesn't even have to harvest it this turn. I meant to click forward, but since Bestow and Roar were right next to each other, and, you know, both are normal type moves and have like a similar, like, you know, letter length because like Roar is 4 letters, Bestow is 5, so I don't know, I guess I had like a whoops moment there. But now I'm gonna Bestow again, thinking that like since Trick Room wore off, I can just kill it. But then my opponent goes for the win button, clicks Ally Switch as I Aura Sphere into the Dialga slot. But since he switched slots with Ally Switch, he just freaking dodges it and then goes for Earth Power and knocks out my Lucario. So I'm like, wow, I just got destroyed by this Dialga. After I had such a lead, I still got freaking destroyed by this Dialga. It was kind of embarrassing, but hey, when you lose to Harvest Dialga, like, can you even get mad? Not really. So my opponent goes for Pollen Puff just to put some salt in the wound, and even though like my only attack move on this Linoone is Super Fang, still like he just goes for Pollen Puff just to be on the safe side. And now he's gonna go for the After You, which is kind of cool to see, because I like when people use moves like After You and stuff like that, because I think they're really underrated. And so he's gonna go for the After You. Thanks to your Bombi's high speed, is able to outpace me. I personally would run Speed Swap, but there's some instances where After You is more useful than Speed Swap. But yeah, my opponent's going to defeat me with Harvest Dialga, and that's going to be a good game to Alexander. So I kind of got destroyed by Harvest Dialga, but hey, like, can you even get mad when you lose to stuff like this? No way. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this first battle, but let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, my second opponent today, Daryl, actually has a very threatening team. He's packing the Furry Wrestler, which is kind of falling off of the radar a little bit. It's only at 82% usage rate now as opposed to like 90%, so that is why he's only on 4 out of 5 teams in this video as opposed to 5 out of 5. My opponent also has Tapu Koko, Lunala, which is a huge threat to my team, and Kyogre. So this time around, I bring my Ludicolo strictly for Kyogre because that is why I have it on this team. I felt like Linoone wasn't necessary because Free Shock spam wasn't really that good in this battle because he didn't really have that many Pokemon weak to Free Shock, so that's why I did not bring Linoone. So I decided to lead off my Kyurem Black and my Lucario, expecting at least the Incineroar lead, as my opponent does lead off with the Incineroar and the Tapu Koko. So we have an alright lead. Unfortunately, Lucario doesn't really have a way to OHKO Incineroar because even if I have like max special attack Modest, Spadef Incineroar, or like, you know, the normal Incineroar spread, which I can't remember off the top of my head because I don't use Incineroar, usually lives Aura Sphere with relative ease, and Focus Blast has a 30% chance to do 0 damage. So yeah, anyway, he's going to Intimidate me, gave me the Adrenaline Orb, but now I have the Adrenaline Orb just for Incineroar, like I said. So my opponent's going to switch out of his Incineroar, smart enough because he knows I'm going to go for the Aura Sphere or a fighting move. He's going to bring in his Lunala, activate his Electric Sea, which is very, very smart on my opponent's part, as my opponent is going to switch into the Aura Sphere very, very nicely, as now he's going to Volt Switch out and get some nice chip damage off of my Lucario, and now he's going to Volt Switch out of here and bring back in his Furry Wrestler to get another stack of Intimidate. So my opponent's playing this first turn very, very well, so I kind of underestimated how good my opponent was, and here I reveal my move to hit Incineroar with my Kyurem Black, the Stone Edge, and it's also for Ho-Ohs and stuff like that, and Stone Edge just do 0 damage to the Lunala thanks to Shadow Shield, Electric Seed, and -2. So I'm going to switch out my Kyurem Black here and bring up my Reshiram here, because Kyurem Black's damage output right now is literally nothing because of the double Intimidate. So I'm going to bring up my Reshiram now, as I'm going to go for the Aura Sphere into the Incineroar, because the Incineroar is still a big threat nonetheless, even though the Lunala I have nothing for. So I'll go for Aura Sphere to around half, as my opponent's going to go for a Calm Mind with Lunala. So I'm like, oh no, help me, because Lunala is going to just destroy me because I have no way to really hit it super effectively. Kyurem Black can't really touch it, especially with the +1 in defense. My opponent's going to go for Knockoff here into my Reshiram, knock off my Weakness Policy, which I am unable to activate in this battle, unfortunately, but I do have a Weakness Policy in this video, so you can't say shit, man. You can't say shit. So he's going to bring in his Tapu Koko, which is kind of frustrating because I was going to go for an Aura Sphere into the Incineroar. I should be making these predictions, but I'm kind of rusty, so my opponent makes a smart pivot into Tapu Koko, as I go for the Tailwind here because I need to outspeed the potential Scarf Ogre in the back, because, you know, all Kyogres are Choice Scarf. So my opponent's going to go for a Moongeist Beam here, and yeah, it's going to kind of annihilate my Reshiram. Hopefully he doesn't target into my Lucario, though it doesn't really matter at this point. He does target my Reshiram because that's the bigger threat. Down goes my Reshiram, and yeah, it's looking pretty bad for me right now. So I'm going to bring in my Kyurem Black here, and this Lunala is going to pretty much body bag me. So I have Aura Sphere, Flash Cannon, Protect, and my last move on my Lucario is Me First. Now I was debating on either running like Follow Me or Heal Pulse or something, but no, I'm like Me First, because I can Me First and get Moongeist Beam, which is used at 1.5 times power, and that's going to annihilate the Lunala. That is how we dealt with Lunala. We go for Me First. That wasn't even intended, but I put Me First on this Lucario. That was just very, very convenient that my opponent was quad weak to his own move. And now I go for the Free Shock here, and as you know, I'm going to annihilate this Tapu Koko with the Free Shock. Thanks to Tailwind, we're able to outspeed. Down goes Tapu Koko. And yes, that was a very good turn for me. Down goes Tapu Koko and Lunala. I have Me First just because with the Adrenaline Orb I'm going to be outspeeding a lot anyways, and I kind of ran it for fun more so than for like anything in particular. But hey, it came came through for the Lunala, so I'm satisfied with me first. I'm very, very satisfied. I don't recommend you run me first on this Lucario. Probably something like Shadow Ball or like Dark Pulse would be, better, but like me first is a fun move, and I never really get to use me first, so I'm like, hey, let's use me first. But now I'm gonna switch out my Lucario because I want to save it for I don't really even want to save it. I just want to bring in my Ludicolo here to pivot into a water type attack as my opponent's going to go for the fake out into my Kieran Black. We are able to take it as my opponent's going to go for a Scald, surprisingly, not like Origin Pulse or Water Spout. Is going to Scald into my Ludicolo and give me the Absorbo. So we're going to activate our Absorbo, which is strictly for Kyogre, because Kyogre is fair and balanced, as you all know. Is probably one of the most used Pokemon in the format. I think it's number 3, maybe number 2, I'm not too sure. My opponent's going to go for Protect here, which is very, very annoying because I was going to go for a Grass Knot into the Kyogre. My opponent makes a smart Protect, able to guard themselves from that. And now I'm going to go for the Stone Edge into the Incineroar, knockout Incineroar. Thankfully, they're able to connect as down goes the Furry Wrestler, thankfully. And my opponent's last is Kyogre. Our Tailwind does, peter out, but it doesn't really matter because we have the Grass Knot. Apparently, my opponent's not Scarf Ogre because he has Scald. I don't think any Scarf Ogres carry Scald, so I guess my opponent's a bulky Ogre, as we find out right now. He's going to consume his berry, get all of his health back. This Kyogre is very, very bulky. If it can take a +1 Grass Knot from Ludicolo. Now I'm going to go for the Fusion Bolt here. I am intimidated, so it's not going to be doing all that much to Bulky Ogre, as Bulky Ogre is able to live that as well. So Bulky Ogre just shows how many hits it can actually live. As now my opponent's going to go for the Ice Beam into my Ludicolo, but that doesn't do all that much because he is Bulky Ogre, like I said. Now my opponent's going to forfeit, realizing that he just lost the battle. So that's going to be the end of the battle versus Daryl. Me versus Lucario came clutch, man. It really did, but let's move on to the next battle. Okay, my third opponent today is Xerneogre has a very threatening team with...
Do you think you can beat me 1, 2, 3?
You guessed it, Xerneas and Kyogre with the Furry Wrestler and Tornadus. So my question is, what is my opponent testing though? Like, their name is Xerneogre test, so are they testing out like a non-Scarf Kyogre? Or are they testing out like a Xerneas without Geomancy? That's saying way too much. Maybe he has like Focus Blast over Dazzling Gleam. I don't know, man. My opponent must be trying to innovate the meta with their team, but let's just get into this battle against Xerneogre test. My team is pretty similar to the one I brought in the previous battle. I decided to lead off with my Lucario and my Linoone to counteract the Incineroar and Xerneas, which I thought my opponent was likely going to lead off with because, well, my team is very weak to it intentionally to give my opponents a false sense of security to lead off with these Pokemon. So he's going to intimidate my Lucario, inactivate our Adrenaline Ore, giving us increased speed, and he's going to lower my Linone's attack stat, which doesn't matter because my only attack move is Super Fang, so it's not too big of a deal. So I'm going to go for the Helping Hand turn 1 because Helping Hand does go before Fake Outs. Even if my opponent fakes out my Linoone, it doesn't matter. My opponent chooses to fake out my Lucario, which was a very bad play because I do have the Inner Focus ability, and I can go for the Flash Cannon with the Modest Nature. Helping Hand going to one-shot Xerneas. Down goes to Xerneas. Thankfully, my opponent didn't go for Protect into Flare Blitz. That would have been pretty bad, but most people don't really think Lucario is a big threat, so they just don't really think to go for Protect and Flare Blitz, so that's definitely a way to beat this kind of lead if you ever face it yourself, which I highly doubt you will because this lead is really, really bad. No one's ever going to use it besides me, or people trying to be like me, but they can't beat me because no one can be as good as Shaniqua. Anyways, that was just a joke. I'm not good at this game at all. Anyways, my opponent's going to switch off the Incineroar. He's going to bring out his Tornadus here, and he's probably like thinking I'm going to go for an Ore Sphere or something, but nope. I'm going to go for the Helping Hand with my Linoone into Lucario, and I'm going to go for the Me First into the Kyogre, hoping he goes for the Origin Pulse. My opponent goes for Water Spout instead, which works for me. I thought he wouldn't go for the Water Spout there because, well, I was faster than him, but I guess he didn't really fear the Lucario at all. We're going to one-shot Tornadus with the Helping Hand, Me First boosted Water Spout, and now we're going to take a weakened Water Spout, but unfortunately Lucario is still going to go down because Kyogre is fair and balanced. So down goes my Lucario, which is fine, I guess, not too big of a deal. Now my opponent's going to bring out his Incineroar here again. My opponent has a lot of legit shinies on this team, of course. I'm going to bring out my Kieran Black as Kieran Black threatens out my opponent's team at this point because I do have Stone Edge for the Incineroar, and Fusion Bolt's going to pretty much bop Kyogre right in the face. So he's going to intimidate my Kieran Black, which is not what I really want because I can still lose this if I get too unlucky. So he's going to give me the Adrenaline Orb with the Intimidate, which is pretty funny, though Linoone already outspeeds my opponent's team at this point, so it's not too big of a deal. I'm actually going to swap out of my Kieran Black and bring in my Ludicolo to pivot into the potential Origin Pulse or Water Spout, because I know my opponent's not Scarf Kyogre because he has a Tornadus on his team, and Tornadus commonly carry like Tailwind with like Protect Kyogre, so it gets increased speed, so I can go for like, you know, Water Spouts and stuff. And my opponent's going to go for the Origin Pulse here. We're going to die with Linoone, but we're able to live with Ludicolo, inactivate our Absorb Bulb, giving us increased special attack. I know we're activating a lot of items in this game that aren't weakness policy, but weakness policies for the next battle, okay? So I'm going to bring out my Kieran Black here. and Kieran Black should be able to just, pull this game out because I can just Scald Incineroar and Fusion Bolt Kyogre for the win. So my opponent's going to try to go for the Protect here with this Kyogre, and I'm like, nah man, Incineroar's a bigger threat at this point, so I'm going to go for the Scald here into the Incineroar at +1 special attack in the rain. Incineroar's going to go down pretty easily, so down goes the Fairy Wrestler. See you in the next battle, and now I'm going to go for the Fusion Bolt. Kyogre's going to protect themselves, but it doesn't really matter at this point because now it's 2v1. I'm just going to go for an Odd Flex here and go for Sunny Day just because I want to reveal that I have it, just so my opponent knew that their range just doesn't matter. I have Sunny Day on my Ludicolo just on the off chance I need to set up Sun for my Reshiram, though that didn't really come into play in this video. So yeah, spoiler, Sunny Day Ludicolo doesn't really do much, but Fusion Bolt will one-shot the Kyogre from that range of health. So down goes Kyogre, and we're able to defeat my opponent thanks to Me First Lucario again coming through. So we freaking Me Firsted a Moongeist Beam, and we Me Firsted a Water Spout. So man, Me First Lucario is actually coming in clutch. But let's move on to the next battle.
2 hours later.
Alright, my next opponent today, Sammy, has a very threatening Sun team with Incineroar, Groudon, Ho-Oh, and Stakataka, so a lot of firepower on my opponent's team for sure. Now this battle, I felt safe enough to bring probably the ultimate cheese on this team. You guys saw the weakness policy on the Reshiram, but there's more to it with this team. So I have Smeargle on my team. Now Smeargle's a Pokemon that everyone sleeps on, like joke intended, because Smeargle spams Lovely Kiss. Because people think like Smeargle's for Follow Me, like Fake Out, and like Wide Guard, but Smeargle can learn every move in the game, people. Don't sleep on Smeargle, it can do anything. So my opponent is wearing the Falcon Kamo outfit, so we gotta teach this guy a lesson on how Smeargle's truly played, how a true master uses Smeargle, because I've used Smeargle in many creative ways before, and this just shows another creative way to use Smeargle. So we lit off with our Reshiram and Smeargle. We activated Turtle Blaze before Drought, so it tells us we're faster than Groudon, which is very vital information to know because it's going to, dictate how I play this first turn out. So he's going to intimidate my Smeargle and my Reshiram, which, it doesn't really matter at all actually. So my opponent's probably expecting to trade Fake Outs here because that's what Smeargle usually goes for, Fake Out. So I'm going to protect my Reshiram here, expecting my opponent to go for Fake Out into my Reshiram, so I can go for the Encore Y into the Incineroar slot with the Smeargle. So we're going to Encore the Fake Out, which is very, very good. And now my opponent's going to go for Precipice Blaze. He's going to connect against my Smeargle, which will easily bring me down to my Focus Sash, but that's fine. Now, one thing about this Reshiram you guys should know is that my Reshiram has enough defense EVs to live a life for Precipice Blades from Groudon when there's 2 Pokemon on the field because it's split damage. So I want to get my weakness policy that way, which is my plan in this turn. So my opponent's going to bring out his Ho-Oh here. Ideally here, he misses Precipice Blades against my Smeargle and hits my Reshiram because that way I get to keep my Smeargle and then, get the weakness policy and pop off. But I'm going to get rid of our Turtle Blaze, get the simple ability because of Simple Beam, and now I'm going to go for the Fusion Flare into the Groudon because I want to get off as much chip damage as possible on the off chance to crits me with Precipice Blades or something like that. So my opponent's going to go for Precipice Blades and miss against both my Pokemon. So not just one miss, 2 miss, so unfortunate. But now I can reveal Accelerock to activate our weakness policy. Lycanroc's signature move on Smeargle, beautiful. And now I'm gonna go for the Dragon Pulse here into the Groudon just to knock him out because I may as well, prevent the Precipice Blades from hitting me now. And down goes the Groudon. And see, I want a Precipice Blades to hit me so I can bring out my Kieran Black and get weakness policy so I can get Kieran Black and Reshiram out at the same time. But unfortunately, my opponent's Precipice Blades kind of hurts him, and it hurts like my game plan, but I still have the Accelerock to guarantee the weakness policy. So that sucks for my opponent, but it kind of ruined my game plan because I wanted to bring in Kieran Black and, have Reshiram just spam Fusion Bolt and Fusion Flare, but I can still do that because my Smeargle also has Fusion Bolt, and my Smeargle outspeeds my Reshiram because it's a very bulky Reshiram, like I said. Fusion Bolt's going to hit the Incineroar for 0 damage. I'm surprised my opponent didn't go for Fake Out there, but maybe he was afraid of the Fake Out Encore play again, so I can understand that much. Fusion Flare in the Sun is 200 base power because Fusion Flare's base power doubles when it's used after Fusion Bolt and vice versa with Fusion Bolt and Fusion Flare, so it's 200 base power just like Z-Move. I thought Z-Moves were banned from Sun series, but no, Fusion Flare is 200 base power in the Sun, freaking +4. Braver is unable to knock me out because my Reshiram is bulky, guys. My Reshiram is really, really bulky. I should have given this thing Roost, to be honest. That would have been very smart. I should have given it Roost over Dragon Pulse, to be honest. That was probably like a miss. Not the best use of my moves, but whatever. Fusion Bolt's going to hit the Stakataka, do 0 damage because I just want to break any potential focus sashes. You never know. I'm going to go for the Fusion Flare into the Ho-Oh, and that's going to melt this Ho-Oh alive. Even if it is a Death Monster, +4 Fusion Flare in the Sun at 200 base power. Down goes Ho-Oh. I'm not even modest Reshiram. I'm bold Reshiram, and it still does so much damage. Now Rock Slide will knock out both my Reshiram and my Smeargle, which is fine. Down down goes Smeargle and Reshiram, but they definitely did enough work, and I'm definitely satisfied with their performance. So there's your weakness policy proc in this battle, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And he's going to get a double because of the he killed both my Pokemon, so he gets +2 in defense as opposed to attack. So he's a bulky stack attacker, not even offensive, which is pretty cool to see. Now I'm going to bring Kieran Black and my Lucario here as my last Mons, and versus a stack attacker, I don't see Stack Attack doing much against me. If he got a Trick Room, there may have been a chance if he had like Earthquake, but I'm gonna go for the Free Shock here with my Kieran Black because Stone Edge and Fusion Bolt aren't gonna be doing damage anyway, so may as well just go for Free Shock, as Free Shock's going to hit him, probably do like 0 damage, but it actually does slightly more damage than I was expecting considering he's at +2 defense. And we're going to get a lucky para chance because Free Shock has the 30% chance to paralyze like Discharge, so that's cool. Now I'm going to go for the Aura Sphere. He's going to eat his Chople Berry, but it will not be enough for you, buddy. Aura Sphere will knock out the Stack Attacker from that range because I am modest Lucario. Down goes Stack Attacker to the Aura Sphere. And we're able to defeat my opponent thanks to Reshiram Cheese coming through, and Smeargle's expansive move pool comes through as well. My opponent definitely didn't expect the Accelerock or the Encore or the Fusion Bolt. But yeah, Smeargle's move pool, it's so good. People underestimate just how versatile Smeargle can possibly be, but this just shows just Smeargle can do pretty much anything. If you open your mind to the possibilities, Smeargle can do so much more than people realize. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy that Smeargle strat. Let's move on to the last battle in this video. Okay, my final opponent today, Chug Jug. The Fortnite item has a very scary team. He has the XY Core and Xerneas and Yveltal, so he has the Kalos Legendaries on his team. Also packing Incineroar because Incineroar combos well with both Xerneas and Yveltal because Dark Aura increases knockoff damage and Incineroar deals with the Pokemon Xerneas does not deal with. So very good, core on my opponent's part. Then he has Tapu Fini for some support and a Spam Moonblast with the Fairy Aura from Xerneas, so a pretty cool core. This time around, I pretty much brought the exact same team I brought against Zern Ogre Test, except I did not bring Ludicolo because my opponent didn't have a Kyogre to be afraid of, so I didn't have to bring Ludicolo, so that's very, very nice. My opponent's going to lead off with the Xerneas and Incineroar. Some Deja Vu is going to happen on this first turn, as I lead off with my Linoone and my Lucario, just so I don't automatically lose to potential Incineroar Xerneas lead. So my opponent does lead with Incineroar and Xerneas. What a surprise, going to intimidate both Linoone and Lucario, which is whatever, because we're able to activate our Adrenaline Orb, allowing us to outspeed Xerneas, so that's very nice for us. And now my opponent is going to allow me to go for Helping Hand, because Helping Hand does go before Fake Out, so that's something you should always keep in mind when facing Incineroar. My opponent's going to go for Fake Out into Linoone, as we're able to go before it, so it doesn't really matter. He does know about Inner Focus, but it doesn't matter because Flash Cannon with Helping Hand booster will knock out the Xerneas in one shot. So down goes Xerneas. Fuck the reindeer. I know Christmas is coming around, but still, screw Xerneas, man. I hate Xerneas. So we're going to pick up the Adrenaline Orb here, which is kind of useless because I don't really need it, but not too big of a deal. He's going to bring in his Yveltal, which people call a bacon bird because it's shiny, but I don't see it. It just literally looks like red and white. It looks cool, but it doesn't look like a bacon to me. I don't know, man. It doesn't look like bacon all that much to me, but that's just my opinion. Now, he's going to bring in his Tapu Fini here, reveal his last Pokemon, so now we know all 4 of his Pokemon he brought in the battle on turn 2, which is very nice. He's going to activate his Misty Seed here with his Yveltal, which is kind of scary. I'm just going to go straight for Helping Hand because the Incineroar is a huge problem. I mean, I don't want to deal with Incineroar. I'd rather get rid of Incineroar over the Yveltal just because Incineroar is more annoying in my personal opinion. So Aura Sphere is going to hit Tapu Fini. My opponent makes a smart pivot into Tapu Fini to switch into the Aura Sphere, and now Knockout is going to obliterate my Linoone. So down goes Linoone, unfortunately, but we already took out Xerneas, and that was the only reason why I brought Linoone in this battle. So hey, I'm not complaining. In comes my Kieran Black, activates Terrible, and Kieran Black threatens out Yveltal like ridiculously hard. My opponent probably doesn't have Protect either. I'm kind of scared they might pivot into Incineroar with that slot, but I'm still going to go for Moonblast with me first to fish for a special attack drop against Tapu Fini, but unfortunately we don't get it, and thankfully my opponent stays in with his Yveltal because he has the Misty Seed activated, so I highly doubted he was going to switch out anyway, so there was the chance he could have switched out and made me waste my Free Shock, but my opponent stays in, allows me to Free Shock his Yveltal and one-shot Yveltal. So it down goes his restricted legendaries, which pretty much means we automatically win the battle because that's how VGC 2019 works. And now Moonblast is going to hit my Kieran Black, but since he's probably not offensive Tapu Fini, we're able to tank that because Kieran Black is very good base defenses without investment just because it's like a combined legendary. Of course, it's going to have pretty good stats. And my opponent's going to bring in Incineroar here, activate Intimidate yet again, but that doesn't really matter because, I mean, sure, that kind of fucks up my Kieran Black, but you know, my Lucario is still looking good. I'm going to protect this turn just to scout out what my opponent wants to do. I'm going to go straight for the Aura Sphere. My opponent goes for Fake Out into the Kieran Black, as I'm just going to go for Aura Sphere into Incineroar, trying to do a good chunk of damage. It does around half, depending on what kind of Incineroar set it's running, but we do around half health to Incineroar, as my opponent's going to go for the Moonblast, target into Kieran Black yet again, which is very nice for me. And now I can pretty much just go for Aura Sphere again into the Incineroar, and that's just going to knock him out. So yeah, down goes Incineroar pretty convincingly. Down goes Incineroar. It doesn't even get to do all that much besides Intimidate spam me. And now I can just go for Fusion Bolt. And even though I am intimidated, I'm pretty sure at around half health, Tapu Fini will go down to a Fusion Bolt from Kieran Black. So Kieran Black will knock out Tapu Fini, and that's going to be the end of the battle against my opponent today. Good game to Chug Jug. Kieran Black and Lucario came clutch in this battle. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle against Chug Jug and enjoyed this VGC video featuring Kieran Black and Reshiram, because it was kind of fun to make, and I really enjoyed using Kieran Black and Reshiram because no one really gets to use these Pokemon. And Lucario is also like an MVP in this video. You can't even deny Lucario did way more than Reshiram did in this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this VGC video. I know it's been so long since I've posted a VGC video, but VGC Sun series is, you know, really dumb and not fun to play, to be honest with you. And Moon series is gonna have Z moves. I can't wait. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not really enjoying VGC or competitive Pokemon much at all lately. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee literally killed my Vitality Pokemon like even more than it already was. Like I wanted to play Pokemon even less when Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out, because it's just the games are that bad to me. Like they aren't like bad to play through, but like competitive wise, like oof. But yeah, I just like don't really enjoy VGC all that much, and competitive Pokemon all that much in general. I've been really burnt out of it, which is why I haven't been posting much of it lately. And despite the fact like my channel's been doing like better than it's ever done in its existence, I still couldn't really muster the motivation to like force myself to play Pokemon and make content for it, just because like I don't know, man, like I've been forcing myself to play Pokemon for like months now, but like lately I can't do it. I don't know why, man, it just sucks, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of things and enjoy the game again, but it's hard for me. It's pretty hard. I don't know, man, I'm trying my best. Actually, I'm not even trying my best, that's a lie. I'm kind of trying. Like I tried, and like there's days where I'm just like, today's not the day, and today's not the day, and then like 2 weeks pass and I'm like, oh, I haven't posted in like 2 weeks. Yikes. But yeah, we're kind of rambling at this point. We're going to move on to the question of the day, which is going to be, since Christmas is coming right around the corner, what do you want for Christmas this year? Maybe Shaniqua will get it for you if you're a good girl. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you want for Christmas this year. Now, me personally, I just want some socks, because you can never go wrong with socks. Like, when I was a kid, I hated getting socks. I'm like, oh my god, socks. I don't want these. But now that I'm like somewhat of an adult, I'm just like, oh, socks? Give me those socks. Like, oh my god, I need all the socks. I love socks, especially like the fuzzy ones. I know those are for girls, but like, shh. I'm low-key a girl. People think I'm a girl though. I don't know why, but you know, we go with it. If someone asks if I'm a boy or a girl, everyone reply that I'm a female, because that's just the best way to meme them. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. For what I also want for Christmas is a like on the video, or like if you didn't like the video, be sure to turn your phone upside down before leaving a like, because it really helps me out. But yeah, that's going to be the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. I love you all very much. I appreciate you guys' patience with me with my lack of uploads, but you know, I've already explained myself. Pokemon's boring, I'm boring, and life is boring. So that's going to be the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll show you guys next time. Bye.